Every business struggles with the same thing: how to differentiate our business. In my space, digital marketing services is very saturated with many agencies in the market. However, we managed to grow from nothing to 30 men strong throughout the past few years because I realized how to play the game. In the first place, we went into this business because we spotted a market gap. Most of the established agencies were not creating landing page for their clients or doing copywriting on the ads. They emphasize on the platform rather than the target audience. It means that they tend to talk about optimizing Google Ads platform, tweaking the bid, the keywords and targeting and so on. Not so much about resonating with the target audience with strong copywriting. We saw a gap because in the US side, people were already big on funnels and landing page and copywriting. This is an entire field that we call conversion rate optimization. On the other hand, the agencies in Singapore were still very much caught up with media buying. Furthermore, we saw that the world is changing. With the advance of AI and machine learning, Google has introduced smart bidding, which means that there will be less human work required in the media buying and optimization process. We know that copywriting and funnel building will be more important moving forward. This is why we started an agency to plug the gap and meet the needs of the new world. I was overly optimistic. I thought that people would be excited about what we are offering and be very eager to take us up, since we were one of the few agencies that offer landing page copywriting and funnel creation services. Our charging was also very competitive. But I was wrong. In our meetings with some of the first few prospects, the feedback was negative. People didn't know what we were talking about when we introduced the concept of funnel or direct response copywriting. Remember, that was 7 years ago. No one was talking about all these things in Singapore at that time. After many sales meetings, I had a turning point only after talking to one of the prospects in the early days. He was very candid. Let's call him John. John told me that he met up with the other agency, which is the market leader in the agency space in Singapore, and they are listed company and Google Premium Partner and whatnot. The thing is that they don't even offer landing page, and they didn't talk about landing page at all. According to the big agency, the website should be short and sweet and shouldn't require all this copywriting. I was stumped. I realized that when I did all this explanation about the importance of funnel and copywriting for the last half an hour, it came across as a sales pitch. John listened to the sales pitch of the big agency as well. Eventually, he went with the big agency because John is a layman. He couldn't tell the difference between both our pitches. He just went with the agency with better credentials. So what I thought was a USP wasn't actually a USP. This is because the prospects couldn't care less about what I was talking about. I was just speaking the digital marketing language that sounds like gibberish to the prospects. All this talk about funnel and copywriting. I learned an important lesson. The market leader will define the rules of the industry, especially for technical service. The target audience doesn't know what is important and not important when they are not technically inclined. They look at your track record and credentials. It doesn't matter what is factual, what matters is the perception. So we changed our strategy. We took out a number of clients for free. We basically told them that we work for free at the start and they pay us only if they make money from the campaign. We started getting very busy with all this free work because direct response copywriting requires a lot of time spent on research and brainstorming. Guess what? 8 months later, I received a call from John, who is the prospect I told you about just now. He was 8 months into the 1-year contract with the big agency. However, he couldn't take it anymore. He has burned through 5 figures budget already and have not closed a single deal. Throughout these 8 months, the agency sent him nice reports every month about all the clicks and impressions he received, but there was no sales generated. He received like 2 leads across 8 months and he was devastated. However, he couldn't continue throwing his money down the drain anymore. He asked me if he can pull out of the relationship given that he had signed a 1-year contract with the agency. I couldn't give him any advice because I'm not a lawyer. I told him to speak to a lawyer instead. Later on, he managed to cancel his contract somehow. And long story short, he started on a 3-month relationship with us. Likewise, we did a commission sharing model with him. 6 years later, he is still our client and one of the best paying clients. Importantly, he grew his team from 2-man team to 20+ men. He has made a lot of money throughout the years and we became good friends. Now, back to the question, what is our USP as an agency? Over time, I formulated this framework known as the hierarchy of trust. It starts with credentials as the first step. In a results-driven industry, credentials are very important. Nobody will take the risk and try a new agency no matter how convincing you are. Credentials can mean a lot of things. For example, third-party endorsements can provide confidence for prospects. Over the years, we have gotten our Google Partner and Meta Partner accreditations, and we have also become PSG pre-approved vendor with IMDA. The target audience relies on these authoritative bodies to determine which company is worth its salt. because they are not technically inclined. Let's say if you run an accounting firm, you need to have the chartered accountant title for people to take you seriously. The credentials and track record are really the foundation for building trust. However, in your market, if everyone has the same credentials, then you have to go one level higher and convince people using logic through your unique methodology. The mistake I made previously was getting the order wrong. I talked about methodology without the track record, which is why nobody cared. I went around touting our direct response copywriting and funnel building prowess, but people do not care about it and they also do not know what I'm saying. Even when you create your own methodology, you have to make it ultra simple and logical. Remember, your target audience are not in the same industry as you, so you have to simplify it for them. Don't be like me before. I went into all this nerdy talk about funnels and copywriting that business owners are not interested in. If you are a financial advisor or tuition teacher, the technicalities can confuse people. Therefore, your methodology has to be easy to understand for the layman. Eventually, I learned my lesson and came up with an analogy to explain our method. In fact, I created this video using orange as an analogy. This video generated a lot of leads for us and you might have seen it before. The highest tier in the hierarchy would be connection. The first two levels are logic driven, whereas the third tier appeals to target audience with emotions. This is done by telling stories and establishing common grounds with the target audience. People like people who are similar to them, and they cannot do business with you if they do not like you, no matter how convincing you are. Therefore, it's important to close out the gap by establishing the connection. We do so by providing transparency and authenticity in our dealings with clients. We give them a checklist and full picture of what to expect when they engage our service. At the end of the day, when you are marketing or selling to cold audience, it's very important to abide by the hierarchy of trust and respect the order in which people build their trust with you. They have to first understand your credentials, then they'll listen to your methodology. Lastly, they connect with you through your personal stories. You now have a buying customer. Thanks for watching this video. Do like, subscribe and press the bell notification button so that when new videos are released, you will be notified. I'll catch you soon.